The Business Owners Podcast is brought to you by Business, Business, Business and Enever Group with your hosts, Linda Reed-Enever and Clive Enever. In each episode, we talk to other business owners about their experiences, challenges and successes. We'll also share tips and advice on how to grow your business and achieve your goals. If you're a business owner or you're thinking about starting a business, then the Business Owners Podcast is for you.
Hi everyone, Linda Reed-Enever and Clive Enever here with the launch episode of the Business Owners Podcast. The Business Owners Podcast has been designed to tell stories of the business owners behind the business, and we thought we should start with ours today to share with you a little bit of a story and a journey behind our business. I am going to ask the questions that we're asking the business owners in the Story Behind the Business interview series of both Clive and myself. Clive, would you like to say hi to everyone?
Hello everyone and welcome. I'm excited to be here and I'm delighted to be part of this podcast so that everybody gets the opportunity to tell their story. There's so many wonderful things go on behind the scenes that people usually don't hear or see. And of course, most people don't get to tell their story. So that's what this is all about.
Fantastic. And Clive, I'm very excited about the Business Owners Podcast because this is our first one together and it's a podcast for business owners by business owners, which is a really great way of getting started. Now, over the series, Clive, you and I are going to share some tips and some tricks to help business owners along the way. But we're also getting to interview business owners like our business members and different areas that come through the community. We're also getting to interview business owners and create some connections and also making sure that we connect with the right people along the way. And one of the exciting things, Clive, about the Business Owners Podcast is we are getting to tell the stories of the business owners that we've got to know throughout the years. For those of you who don't know us, Clive and I are business coaches and marketing coaches. Clive does the businessy side of things. I do the marketing and the fun side of stuff. I'm sure he thinks his business side of things is fun. We've been working and creating impact for businesses, strategic impact for businesses since 2001 together. Clive, would you like to tell our people who are listening today a little bit about our story?
Absolutely. We started the journey very excited about getting into business to help people in business do better at business. And that's a rather difficult task because there's so many things going on in business. People often get themselves confused, lose track of what it is that they're about to do. And we saw an opportunity to help people through that struggle and remain focused on what it is they want to achieve and therefore have a better life.
Yeah, 100%. And one of the things that we run is the business community, which is actually about to turn 10 next year. And the Business Owners Podcast is part of our celebration strategy and launch for that community. And that community was founded around the lines of business owners supporting business owners. There was lots of communities out there that supported business owners, but they weren't run by business owners. So they really didn't get the journey. And I think that's some of the uniqueness that we get to bring to you through the Business Owners Podcast is a podcast by business owners and through the business community. So Clive, rather than telling the full story here about our businesses and our journeys, because it's covered a bit of time since 2001 when we started this journey together, I thought we'd dive into the questions that we asked the business owners in the Story Behind the Business interview series that we're about to launch. And those episodes will drop after this one. And you're going to get to meet some amazing business owners. Our team are in the process of editing right now, and it's amazing to see some of the stories that we've had. And Clive and I are putting together the rest of those interviews, and you'll get to hear from both of us and hear our stories along the way. So Clive, are you ready to be in the hot seat?
Let's get going.
Let's get going. I'm going to answer along the way. So the first series of questions that we ask the business owners in the Story Behind the Business is about let's get to know you. And they're short, sharp questions that we can answer in a nice, easy, quick way, hopefully, along the way. So the first one is coffee or tea?
Tea.
Tea. Okay. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a coffee girl and I do not run without caffeine. So that's how it works. Early bird or night owl?
Oh, I'm an early bird.
You're an early bird. I'm definitely an early bird. I'm the person that's up here working way before the hours of everyone else. So love to start the day really, really well. What book are you currently reading, Clive?
The one that I'm currently reading is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I read it every year at least once.
Wow. So what's one key takeaway you give us then? I'm going to throw one more at you.
Oh, it's all about thinking. Everything that you achieve started first as a thought. It's all about thinking.
Wow. Okay, that's good. Okay, so the book that I'm reading currently at the moment is a book called Money Magic, which talks about money mindset and creating magic for yourself when it comes to money and attracting the right money towards you. And top tip for everyone from that one, apparently if you cut up lettuce, you're cutting up money. So maybe we should just break our lettuces up is an interesting one from there. Okay, one word to describe your journey so far, Clive.
Exciting.
Exciting. Cool. Okay, so my one word to describe my journey so far is, he used exciting, so now I've got to come up with something else, is ideas, because my journey has all been about ideas. So ideas sum my journey up. There we go. So we've covered a few of those getting to know you questions. That was a little bit of fun about getting to know you. Now we're going to find out some things about how you got started. Okay, so how did you get started as a business strategist and a business coach, Clive?
Oh, that's a really long story, so we'll cut it extremely short. I started out in sales quite a long time ago, and being the fellow I am, I needed to understand why people bought things, what it was that encouraged people to buy things. So across the years, I transferred my skills from selling to business management and people management. And I became involved in taking over businesses or sections of businesses and turning them into what the owners wanted. Subsequently, I turned it into helping ordinary folks in ordinary businesses right around the world. And what's exciting about it? Every journey everybody is trying to make. That's what excites me about being a business strategist.
Okay, so a little like Clive, my journey started a while ago, and I'm not claiming any more than 21 years in my industry or game, so you can make of that what you want. I was studying to be a teacher at university, and I still use my teaching degree every day. But for those of you who are in uni, you know you've got to pay the bills somehow. Well, I landed in call centers and marketing, and I found the career that I loved. And it was really lovely about it because I love teaching, and I love teaching others what I do now, but I also love the thrill and the excitement of marketing. So that's how I got started in the industry. We then built our businesses. I started to consult more and more. And now I became the ideas and marketing strategist that I am today. So, Clive, the next one is, were there any defining moments in your journey?
Oh, many. And most of them came in very dark clothing. Time to wake up, do things differently. So yes, there's lots of defining moments. And the most defining moment that I can think of just off the top of my head was when Think and Grow Rich actually showed me what I was told that it would. Took me several readings. I learned much along the way. But when I saw what it was supposed to show me, I was ecstatic.
Ah, so there we go. Maybe everyone should be ducking out and grabbing a copy of Think and Grow Rich later on today.
Absolutely recommend it.
Okay, defining moments in my journey. So there have been a number of defining moments within my journey. And one of them was when I made the decision not to go into teaching, but to stay in the world of marketing and, embrace this field that I was in. But one of them that stands out to me is when I got to meet one of my idols. We were at that point in time, Clive, getting family capers together, and we were putting together a resource hub for families that, covered everything from birth through to grandparents. And I was hearing the words, "No, you can't do that," everywhere. I happened to have a coffee in the city with one of my contacts, and my jaw dropped as one of my idols walks down the lift, who happens to be Ida Buttrose. At that moment in time, my friend says to me, "Do you want to meet Ida?" I'm like, "Yeah." So very excitedly got to meet Ida, and, Tracy was lovely. She told Ida what I was doing, and we're coming back with the "I don't knows." And this moment and this key line has stuck within my head. I was told a centerfold wouldn't work in a magazine. I've been told no many times, and it won't work many times in my life, and things have worked out for me. So go ahead, even though the people are saying no. And she loved the idea and the concept, and it gave me the confidence to go forward, building our first publication online. Do you remember those days, Clive?
I do. They were exciting, learning how to present things that one generally took for granted.
And we learned some lessons in that period, didn't we, Clive? We learned lessons around how to do things, having corporate marketing team, and we learned some lessons in establishing family capers, didn't we, Clive?
Oh, yes.
We learned things about how to build websites, how to make things go together, how to push the envelope a little bit further when you needed to as a business owner. And some of the things we teach you today are lessons that we've learned along the way in our business journey.
Yes, and most importantly was listening to what people actually say rather than listening to what you think they might say.
Yes, 100%. Okay, so I've pretty much answered, has there been any influential figures in your life or career? What about you? Has there been any influential people standing out?
Yes, there have, and most people probably find these very surprising. One of them was a president of the United States, a fellow called Lincoln. Now, I never got to meet him personally, but really liked some of the things that he did, and in particular, how he thought about things and figured out what was best for his community rather than thinking about himself all the time. And another fellow who, on the face of it, sounds like he was thinking about himself all the time, but in fact was showing all sorts of resilience and striving and what have you. Started out named Cassius Clay, changed his name to Muhammad Ali. And both of those are bits of heroes to me.
Well, that's good. Okay, so we've covered the how we've got started within this field. Now, every business learns lessons and we have challenges and balances. And we are getting together a series of interview questions to actually discover lessons that other people have learnt within business. So you want to listen to that as we launch the podcast and put some more episodes out there. But Clive, on challenges and balances, I've got two questions for you. How do you balance your personal life and business?
You make a decision, and that is, what is your business going to be? What is your personal life going to be? You apportion appropriate time to deliver each, and you don't encroach either on the other.
Fair call. Okay. So for me, it's very much about boundaries, but I'm a mum and Clive's a dad. So there's times where I do have to flex or move an appointment or do those sorts of things. So if I take from one, I've got to give back to the other. And that's my whole process within balancing life and business. And the other thing is to find something that you like so it's not work. That's the main thing for us. I love what I do. I love marketing. It was a career that naturally fell into my lap. So for me, it's about having those balances in place. And the other thing is, for those of you working from home, have a door, have somewhere physical that you can actually close yourself away from business and have a life outside of it. So Clive, the final one in challenges and balances is share with us a challenge you faced and how you've overcome it so that it might help others.
Probably the number one challenge was to identify really clearly what it is that you do, how you do it, when you do it, where you do it, etc., so that whenever you speak, you're showing precisely what it is that you do. As I mentioned earlier, you don't encroach one upon the other. You also don't want to encroach upon somebody else's territory. If somebody wants something done that isn't what you do, it's a really good idea to walk away. That allows you to speak with more of the people that you want to do business with and to quite comfortably and pleasantly explain to people you don't do the sort of thing that they want you to do. Sometimes people can be quite pressing in wanting you to do something that you don't actually do. It's a really good idea to be able to walk away.
The good old walk away. It's a very handy skill that we need to have as business owners, and knowing that not every client is right for us. So a challenge that we have faced, or I faced when we first started in running our own businesses, and it's one that I share with most clients when we're building out websites and doing this sort of stuff now, is not knowing. Well, it wasn't not knowing. It was trusting. It was trusting that what my web people or whoever were in front of me said couldn't be done, and not knowing to push that envelope. And I said that was one of the things we learnt with Family Capers, to being able to do our research. Now, I know as a marketer, research is key, but I had really, really good teams with me in the corporate world, and I didn't think that I needed to do research when I was hiring experts. So one of the challenges I faced is making sure that I find the right experts to work with our team. And then knowing that walk away thing that Clive was saying, if they're not the right expert, to walk away. And that's where, as business owners, if you're looking at hiring people, you want to see what type of content that they've got out there. What education are they sharing with you to engage so that you know that you're choosing the right expert? And for Clive and I, you'll see that there's lots of content out there, videos, tips, tricks about us teaching how you can do marketing and grow your business, so that when you get to a discovery call with us, you pretty much know who we are and you can engage with us there. And that's what I would suggest to all business owners. Look at your service providers, find out what content they're putting out there and get to know them before you jump into bed and work with them on a regular basis. Okay, so we're rounding out the interview series now, Clive, with the future. So how do you want to shape the future of business coaching or business strategy by doing what you do?
The most important thing that will be a legacy for me is more people understanding that business doesn't have to be a struggle. Many people spend 15, 20, 25, 30 years in business and never learn the things that allow them to have a business and a life and enjoy both of them. The more people who can learn in a short space of time some of the skills, techniques, understandings, strategies that I teach, the more people will be able to live better lives, have better businesses, deliver better services to more people, and that builds a better community. A community that understands each other, works with each other, enjoys each other. That will be my legacy.
Okay, so that's Clive's big goal. He's going to shape the future by building communities, which is great. I want to shape the future of small business marketing to be accessible, for the tools, the tips, the tricks to be in the hands of the business owners that need to be able to create them, because I believe that the story behind the business starts with you. And as a small business owner, our best asset is ourselves and our face. So if I can teach you how to market your business, how to do something in a content opportunity, that's what I want to do. We are now in a world of AI, asynchronous communication, automation, that I just really want to teach you how to tap into the power of all those tools and, get to jump into my bright and shiny object zone to allow you to be able to understand how to market your business. And then if you want to outsource it to someone, that is absolutely fine. But understanding the how first means that you don't fall for the traps of, no, that's not available, or you can't do that, or it's going to cost you X, Y, Z. Understanding the how allows you to make better informed choices about connecting with other service providers. So that's how I'd like to shape the future of my field.
And it's an absolutely wonderful thing to be trying to shape.
Beautiful. Yes, I am pretty proud of what I get to do, and I love teaching others and watching my students grow. So, Clive, are there any dream projects or collaborations that you're wishing to pursue at the moment?
Yes. One of the things I've noticed about this wonderful online space is that more and more people are seeking the information through courses and things of that nature, as opposed to dealing one-to-one with a particular professional to acquire skills, etc. In regard to that, I am going to be putting up more courses covering everything that I can think of to do with business about how you can make it better. So that if you are a person who wants to learn through a course rather than working with an individual, they're available to you and they will still allow you to move forward more quickly with greater success.
Okay, so Clive's working on courses. I wonder where he gets that course creation coach to help him with that process.
I do have one that's pretty handy.
I don't know who that is. Fantastic. So the projects that we are working on, well, obviously one of the projects that we're working on at the moment that's pretty much a dream is the foundation of the Business Owners Podcast. It's something that we have been wanting to put together for a while. And I'm pretty sure Clive's actually excited about that project, but he might be thinking we've already put it to bed along the way here. But we've got lots more episodes, a lot more stories, and a lot more community building, as Clive mentioned, about how he wants to shape the future of being able to share. Our 10th birthday inside Business on the 14th of February next year is going to be a big celebration, and that's a big one to pursue. And hopefully I get to go away and write for a little bit early next year and get the full marketing tree concept out to small business owners in a book and a format that they can engage with.
Yes, and of course it's important to remember that the 14th of February is a pretty handy birthday to have, because think of all those thousands of people who have come into business and fallen in love with it.
You got a nice little soppy version of our 14th of February that tells you a lot about our business life, doesn't it, if we started a Facebook group on Valentine's Day. But yeah, it's all good. That's because we love what we do, guys, and it's great. So watch this space for that area and collaboration. Now, Clive, the final question of our interview today, before we wrap up and introduce what the podcast is going to be one more time to our listeners, is what advice would you give someone starting out in the coaching domain?
Learn everything. And when you're talking to people to help them on their journey, remember that you don't know everything. It's absolutely vital as a coach to understand where the client is coming from. What position are they at? They might appear to be right at the forefront in some regards. In others, they might be right at the back. Understand clearly where they are located right now. Where do they want to go? Above all, your only job is to help them on that path. As long as you're helping them on that path, you're winning.
Fantastic. Nice. Help people on the path, winning, good coaching opportunities out there. And I think it's something that we can all do, even with our clients and the customers we work with. We can make sure that we are guiding them along that path and that journey. For my advice for someone starting out in the marketing career or the marketing domain is forget the textbooks. Life experience, trying a campaign, seeing if it works, learning the bits, and then implementing is the key when it comes to marketing. You can do all the study and everything that you want to do in the world, but until you've actually implemented it, you don't know what works, or you don't even know what it actually takes to put a campaign together. So get in there and do stuff, because with marketing, it's what we do now that shows up in our business in 3 to 6 months' time. That's it, guys. We're wrapping up the first episode of the Business Owners Podcast. You've got to know a little bit about Clive and I along the way. In the next series of interviews, we will be sharing stories behind the business from other business owners, and they'll be answering some of these questions that I have shared with you and Clive today, which means that we can get to know them a little bit more. Clive will be co-hosting, I'll be co-hosting, and along the way, you'll find tips and tricks and episodes from us to help you grow your business. So welcome to the Business Owners Podcast. Clive, have you got one final message to leave our listeners with?
Welcome to the podcast. Come back frequently and regularly and take on board the messages that all of the other people are delivering. Our messages are absolutely fantastic, but each of the people we speak with, they also have fantastic messages. Everybody has a message. Let's pay attention. Let's try and understand everything from a wider viewpoint, make this community better, better, better.
Okay, so guys, this is it. This is the first episode of the Business Owners Podcast. Thank you for listening. Make sure you like, you subscribe, and if you give us a rating on your favorite podcast app, that would be great as we start to share stories with business owners from you and tips to help you grow your business.
Thanks for listening to the Business Owners Podcast. We encourage you to connect with us on social media and join our community of business owners at businessbusinessbusiness.com.au.